You need ice today, lady?
Oh no, we stopped using that years ago. Greetings from Fairfield. We are Richard and Kendra, and we are restoring this cool old Victorian house. We found this old Queen Anne for sale on the internet and decided to buy it. So we moved from the West Coast to the cornfields of Iowa. So join us as we explore and restore this 1896 Victorian mansion. Greetings from Fairfield! Got something new in the kitchen I want to show you. Come this way. Oh, before we go past the butler's pantry, we will be finishing up the wallpaper and wall, and we will be making a much smaller box, one that goes to the curve of the ceiling better. I forget what that's called exactly, but we're going to be building one of these covers, but up there, so that it looks like it'll just continue on from there and to this. And then we are going to put a plate shelf there, a display shelf for the plates, because I think that's what was there originally. But check this out. My new 1920s, 1930s General Electric refrigerator. I think we've been watching a little bit too many Dr. Parkenstein episodes, because we saw this and we're like, oh, we should get it. This one actually, this part is from probably 1927 to 1936. But this part, they changed in the late 30s, early 40s. This is a compressor. And the original ones used tear gas. And this one uses Freon. Ooh. And check out our new refrigerator. Ooh, it's so cold. Now, this refrigerator is more for our dailies. You know, the butter, the eggs, the milk. Oh, look, we put the milk in a glass container because it just makes it nice and cold. It's just too bad they don't deliver in glass bottles anymore. But I'm currently on the lookout for some metal, original General Electric ice trays that will fit in there, because I don't have any ice trays that are metal with the little cranky thing. So, as you can see, there used to be a logo here that says General Electric, and this had actually gauges and stuff. You can't see it because it's been painted, but Rich is actually going to paint this and paint this the same color, but that's in the future, and he's gonna, I know a guy who does graphics, it's right up his alley. He'll put the little General Electric on there. This is actually referred to as a bread box, because the original was circular that had the tear gas, and this one of course has a compressor and Freon, and it's so much quieter than our fridge that we had up here before. And I really am quite impressed at how well this works. And we still have the 1890s ice box. I'm going to be putting the microwave up here, and I'm going to be storing my air fryer here so we can hide all the modern conveniences in the ice box so it looks more period appropriate. Speaking of ice, Rich is actually taking a break from the bathroom project, and he's trying to get the ice doors that are on the outside of the kitchen open. So why don't we go check out what he's doing, and come on, let's go. Oh, just in case you haven't seen the episode where I got my Hoosier, that I love the Hoosier. Hoosier's awesome. I will make sure to link that at the end of this video. And of course, I forgot to tell you, I got a pie safe to keep my pie safe. Now, for some reason, I kept putting all my pies on the windowsill and then they disappear. It was just weird. So come on, let's go see what he's doing. honey. What you doing?
I'm baking a cake.
Baking a cake? Oh, you got it open!
Ta-da!
That is awesome!
It's painted shut.
Yes, it
There's
was.
a ton of paint on the hardware. It wasn't moving. So I finally got it open. But that's old. That's old. That's real old paint. That's when the house was yellow. And this one I noticed was starting to bow, warp a little bit. That could have been from the weather change. It's starting to warm up. But there's a ton of paint on these. But you can't open this one because this dumb thing's in the way. And it doesn't latch either. So this thing is all kind of loosey-goosey. And I don't know when this was put on, but according to the newspaper, I found an article that when previous owners had moved in 1964, and so I'm assuming this top one was the ice, and then the bottom was made for milk, maybe, or vice versa. I want to get this open and find out how they align with the cabinetry on the other side. Stop. I'm going to pop the hardware off. We're going to get those in the crock pot and get all that paint stripped off because it's starting to rust out anyway. And same thing here. This is all cracked and rusted out. There's got to be at least 3 or 4 coats of paint on that thing. We want a handrail. We have this handrail. Let's get some time lapse. See if we can't crack this open.
Ice! Any ice? Any ice today, lady? It's nice today, lady. How about a piece of ice today? Oh, it's only a quarter. You know that you ought her. Hurry up before it melts away. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Not on your linoleum. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Idiot Napoleon, your papa's a nice man, and so's your old Iceman. Oh, lady, be good to me.
Ta-da! Alright, well, now for the moment of truth and reveal. I don't know why they just didn't take that off to paint it, but this had to come off anyway because we're going to be painting all this bottom stuff anyway. And so that whole bottom fascia board, we got to expose to be able to paint anyway. So that had to come off anyway. And this whole framing seen better days, so we're gonna work on this too. But it's kind of weird they just didn't pop that off and paint that and then put it back on. But anyway, let's spill milk, because there is something kind of interesting about these. I got some more paint stripper on that top screw there, because this one's pretty rusted. They're different colors, but that's a Japan copper finish. They're probably the same. Well, actually, those latches are slightly different. The inside latch here. So that would have been a way to open it from the inside, I guess. That's pretty cool, though. Ain't nobody seen that in 50 years. Gray on this side. I like gray. House was light gray at one time. I think in the 1940s, it was light gray. And up until about 1960, I believe, 64. But that's kind of cool. Of course, I mean, nowadays we have better foam, so if that piece at least, if we do have to replace the insulation, we'll get something a little more appropriate than this. Alright, so we got some insulation there. So that's just been insulated. What is this? Is that for the doorknob? Oh, and all the electrical. Ta-da! That's the doorknob, or the doorbell. Sheetrock. This is that same kind of sheetrock that was in the bathroom. That paper, that yellowish paper. So these were likely done at the same time. Same thing with the electrical. That's new. That's newer stuff. Well. Giant nail sticking out there. Alright, so they just sort of frame boxed that in. Sometime in the 1960s, 1970s. From the accounts that we know about. I'm a big fan of this. It'd be kind of hard to repurpose this door with all this stuff in the way. Likely whenever they added the doorbell. We've been thinking about getting rid of that anyway and putting an old time ring-a-ding bell, manual bell puller for the kitchen. That'd be cool. That would be cool. I think that's what we're gonna do. I don't like this. I don't like this. So what do we got up here? Oh, the insulation. Yeah. That's old. That's cool. So this is what our beadboard looked like in the kitchen. Look at that. A golden oak beadboard, which probably came out. So this has just been kind of nailed up there. That piece is broken off. So that would have slid into that cabinet This one might align, but I don't see how this one aligns. I don't understand that, because here's the... Of course, they could have ripped out all of the bottom. We'll have to take some measurements. I don't think that cabinet is this low. I don't think it's that low. That piece has been broken off, so this had an extra little piece. Yeah, that seems... What do you think? Ice or milk? Seems like you'd have more room here for like the dairy stuff. Used to get your milk delivered in glass bottles. How cool would that be today? I'd love that. Of course, you probably already showed him a glass bottle of milk in the fridge, didn't you? Yeah. That's what we got to work with. All right. So I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do here, but in order for these outlets, that shelf down below was 10 inches from the box. So the bottom shelf to that cupboard is here. This is under the shelf. So I don't know why that door is so big. And then up top, for the top shelf, we're 7 inches. This one would actually line up correctly. So that would line up to the top of that cabinet on the other side. And so this would probably definitely be for the ice. They'd slide that ice block in, keep the delivery guy outside. You know, they used to call the cabinetry on the other side. It's referred to as the jealous husband's cabinet, because you want to keep that delivery guy outside where he belongs. And so that's probably what this was. We're 6 inches deep here. So we could probably repurpose this. Maybe store some garden tools or something there. And maybe I might be able to get rid of this centerpiece. Close this off, do something with this. Or we'll just store something on this side and we can maybe fill this side in. Because, yeah, I don't know what else to do with this. Kind of wasted space here. Our golden rule here is, if it's been here, if the renovation had been done longer than the house has been here, that puts the date around 1961. That's sort of our halfway point. And so, well, we're within 3 years time frame of when this was done in 1964. And so, and they're not delivering, they haven't delivered ice or milk, you know, in like 100 years. So there's probably no reason to open these back up. But I mean, if anybody has any suggestions on maybe what we could do with this, drop them in the comments. You know, maybe it's something I haven't considered yet. And so there is something really weird about this. I'm having some problems getting the set screw off to get these handles off, to get this paint stripped off. But they never painted these doors originally. So originally these were just wooden doors. And then later over time, they painted all the hardware and everything here, but that's really strange. I expected that to be the original color behind that. So yeah, I don't know. That's really strange. All right. Well, I did manage to get that closed. So we got something accomplished. They latch now. But you know, yeah, I think that'll about do it for this week's video. If anybody's got any suggestions on what we should maybe do with these, yeah, drop them in the comments. But in the meantime, I think we're gonna get back to work on that bathroom.